So a little bit of fall, a little bit of cooling down means we have to move a little bit more to make our heat, which means a little bit more holding. And as we hold, deepen your breathing. That if you simply turn your palms open as you sit, as you settle, that there's an effortlessness, that our elbows are under our shoulders, our palms are open, our chest is broad. And in the effortlessness, we have a softening in the face and in the shoulders. It's easier to hear. Widen your arms, extend your hands out, turn your palms open, turn your thumbs back, lift your chest a little. Lift the underside of your jaw, let your head move around, get a little taller, get a little looser, reaching out. Spin your thumbs back, spin your pinkies up a little so that the front of your chest comes up and the back body gathers towards your spine. Keeping that, now draw your ribs in and your hips down. So the pinkies up and the thumbs back, broadening your chest, right? So Stephanie, bring your hands down just a little bit so that your fingertips are in line with your shoulders, thumbs back. Now draw your thumbs back, bow your chest open, and let your heart come forward, and that real bow of the chest and the spine. We're going to keep the hands wide, but bring your ribs back, and this will bring your chin in and your seat down. Keep your thumbs back and your ribs back. Now stay. And your thumbs reaching back, and your ribs drawing back, and now it might have gotten a little bit louder, a little bit harder to hear. Now deepen your breathing. Open the elbows, draw your elbows away from your shoulders. And let it get just a little bit louder. Let it flush out last week. Thumbs turned back, drawing back. Palms are open, fingers at the height of your shoulders. And you're just letting it get a little bit juicy and noisy. Ribs back, tail down. Keep all of it. Your spine is exactly right. Crown of the head is exactly right. Interlace your hands at the base of your skull, at the back of your head. And wrap your elbows in. Shoulders down, elbows up. Shoulders down, elbows up. Reach into the top of your head, ribs back. So try to put it all together. Elbows up, shoulders down, broadening. Broadening your chest, broadening your upper back. And now it might be really loud. And just deepen your breath. Elbows in and up. Back of the head long, back of the neck long, heart up, ribs back. And then when you let go, hands to thighs, feel what happens up your spine. Feel the lush quiet. And it's in this quiet that we can hear ourselves, that our intuition is here. So that's what we want to cultivate. That's where we want to land. We'll have a sequence to come all the way up into this kind of headstand, forearm headstand. If you prefer tripod, you can go to tripod. And from there, we'll do a teeny tiny little kriya that's for intuition, just rolling through the fingers, bringing the hands into the body, and then resting in a particular posture. And all of this serves to land us in this space. And the purpose of landing in this space is so we can hear ourselves. So we can make decision that serve ourselves. It's yours. It's the way we steer. Come to lie down on your back. Interlace your fingers over your right shin and keep it close. Let your left leg go long and inhale your heel high and exhale it down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. And you're reaching into your heel and you're coming out of the hip. You're drawing your toes back, spreading your toes on both feet. Inhaling up, exhaling down, close your eyes. You go 15 times right here. Get a little quicker. For the last 5, if you like, left hand overhead and then down beside your hip, opening and down. Through the chest, through the shoulders, anchoring into the left side of your navel. 1 more. And then hands to shins, pause, shake out your feet, shake out your knees, wag your tail. And interlace over the left shin, right heel out and up. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Draw your toes back, reach into your right inner heel so the inner thigh grows long. Flex both feet, inhale up, exhale down, close your eyes. So anchoring across the width of your low back, you're stabilizing here. That there's no rocking side to side. The chest is broad, the spine is long. And adding the right hand overhead as your heel comes down, open it out. And then hand down as your heel comes up. Inhale, open, and exhale down. One more. So good. And hands to your shins. Good. Left hand overhead, left leg long. Bring it back. And then right leg. And then left leg. So you're alternating sides. You're keeping the chest broad, the back of the body anchored. Next level, don't hold your shins. Reach towards your heel, your hand beside your body. Lift your head and shoulders. So the work becomes even clearer into the center. And this is what holds us in headstand. It's what holds us as we stand and we cook our dinner in the kitchen. It's what holds us together is this center point. It's what makes sense of the things that we understand, that we hear in a day. We're making more and more stability at the center. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Take a block, put it to the right, align with your right hip. And take a second block and put it between your thighs. And hold it between your thighs, arms wide, and drop your knees across to the right side block. Spin your heels to point up. And as you spin your heels to point up, feel your left lung open. Right hand to left thigh, left hand sweeps all the way down and all the way up. And begin to lengthen the left side. So we contracted it and now we open it just for 3. Your palm facing up the whole time. 2, your inner thighs hugging the block, stabilizing the navel. And then left arm wide like a wing. Turn your navel left, turn your navel left, dropping your hips toward the floor. Feet to the center, block to the left, hips up over to the right, and your knees drop onto that left side block. Left hand to right thigh, so you're propped, and then right hand sweeping, the palm facing the ceiling. Yeah, so that as you go overhead, you're reaching your right hip away. You're making a little more space, a little more length. Hugging the block between your knees, turn your navel to the right. Good. 1 more. And arm out right, pause, turn your navel right. Reach your right hip away from your right shoulder, hug the block, feel your navel draw into your body. Good. Finding center again. Set one block aside, but keep the other between your thighs. Hands overhead is an inhale. Reaching out, feet are flat.
On your exhale, hug the block and lift your head and shoulders, lift your feet and reach your hands towards your feet. Here's exhale. So I'm hugging my knees in, feet down. Inhale, lengthen out. And then exhale, roll up, hug the block, stabilize the low back. 3 more. And exhale. So if you want to feel a little bit more, extend your legs instead of feet to the floor. And then hug the knees, hug the block, hug the hands towards the heels. Good. We're going to add a little bit of a twist. Feet to the floor, hands overhead, palms together. Bring your hands outside the right thigh. And the back of your left hand comes against the right thigh. Right hand only. And then on an exhale, hand to hand press. So hug the block. On the exhale, hold the block, press the palms. 1 more. You are stable through the low belly. Pause. Feet to the floor, hands overhead. Open it out. And go to the left thigh. So the back of your right hand. Yep. Inhale overhead. Exhale palm to palm. You're bringing your navel to your spine. You're hugging your thighs together. And this is our stabilization. Feet to the floor. Take your block, set it aside. Interlace your fingers, press out. Walk your feet out, flex your feet. Bring the base of your big toes together. Hug the thighs. Maybe flexing the feet so much the heels don't touch. Sink your seat. Your hips down, your shoulders down. There's a little arch in the back, and now draw your ribs back, ribs back. Keep the pinky edge of your hands on the floor or towards the floor. So pinkies down, ribs down. Pinkies down, ribs down. Widen into the sides of your body. 1 more breath. And then knees to chest. Rolling up. Add a blanket beneath your knees, hands and knees.
So all of that work serves that when we put our forearms to the floor and our head to the blanket and we rise up, we want all of that activation to hold us steady. And at the same time, working that space can create congestion across the navel. So cat-cow, to move through the center of your belly, lengthening out the contraction that you just made. Work here, or turn your left hand left, your left thumb forward. Draw the hands apart, open the upper back, move the energy from your navel up into your chest. Work there, or turn your left fingers all the way back. Heels of your hands in one line. And now move. Through the tail, through the navel, through the hand, opening the palm, the left collarbone, the left side jaw. Good. And then turn your left fingers forward and turn your right thumb forward. Draw your hands apart. Can you get a little more action through the chest? The base of the neck, working here, or right fingers turned back. So your right thumb is turned right. And you're opening through the right palm, right wrist, right forearm, collarbones down the back of the right side spine. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Turn your fingers forward, widen your knees, put your toes together, fold back. Come onto your fingertips, and this will help relieve your wrists. And sway your hips and your ribs side to side as you reach a little further back, hips towards heels. Yeah. Any tension still in the wrists, make fists and then let your hands out, fists and let your hands out. So rising up to hands and knees, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Walk your dog by bending one knee, wag of the tail. Ha. Good. Back to hands and knees. Big circle through your hips. Let your head follow your spine. We're just going to go for 3. And for 2. Getting into the chest, getting into the hands, and then reverse your direction.
So into the sides of the ribs, into the front, into the back, feeling where it's caught, sticky, held, or constrained. And then downward facing dog, feeling the change from the navel to the hips, from the navel to the heart. And the quiet. And the right foot steps up inside the right thumb. The left knee comes down. Hands go wide, so if you prefer having blocks here, fantastic. But when I start out, I'm rounded, my chest is dropped. So fitting my right knee to my right armpit. Start to bring your knee forward, to bring your heart forward, to bring your pelvis forward, to change your perspective, all of it. Knee into the armpit. Softening through the right hip, inviting your pelvis forward, opening your navel and your throat, broadening the collarbones. So that when you step back, down dog, press your right hand down, your right hip high and your right heel back and down. Let the right side be long and strong, let the left be soft. Start to feel those lines open up. And the left foot steps up and the left knee fits into your left armpit. Fingertips are wide, block yourself if you need to. And as you do this over time, you'll make more and more space. So starting out, notice your rounding. Use your pelvis to come forward, your chest to open, and just lean your left knee into your left armpit. And feel the left side jaw. Let it open the right side hip. Let the heart come forward a little bit more, widening into the wide edges of your eyes. Excellent. Making space. The first time you did that didn't look like that. Down dog, left hand down, left hip high, left heel down. The line from hand to hip to heel. Let it be clear and strong. Right foot steps up between the hands, left knee comes down, hands up high. So touch your shoulders. And then reach up high. And same thing, touch your shoulders and fold down. Left foot steps up. Sit down, hands wide, hands to shoulders, and step the hands high. Okay. So hands to shoulders, bend your knees, fold down. Left foot back, left knee down, hands to shoulders. Inhaling up and out and down. Inhale, dog. Good, left foot steps up, right knee comes down to the shoulders and up to the shoulders, elbows wide and down. Step up. Sit down, sweep wide to the shoulders, press down, look up, look down, fold down. Right foot, right knee, hands to the shoulders and up. Wide elbows, and down. There you go. Down the back. Down dog. Right foot, left knee. Take your time. We'll all meet up. Shoulders up. Shoulders down. Step the left foot. Sit down. Reach wide. Shoulders and up. And shoulders and down. More breath. Left foot, left knee. Shoulders, elbows back, inhale up, shoulders and down. Step back, down dog. Left foot up, right knee down. Shoulders and up. Wide elbows and down. Step up. Sweep wide, sit down, rise up. And up. And down. Oh, and down. Right foot, right knee. To the shoulders and up and shoulders and down. Dog. Right foot, left knee, shoulders, up, shoulders
Down. Down dog.
Pause, notice, broaden the chest. Good. Come forward onto your high plank, widening your feet to the outer edges of your mat. Bring your right knee to tap, and then press your right leg straight, heel back. Bend your left knee to tap, and press back. So you broaden, keep tapping. Each one's an exhale as you press back. Inhale, tap. Exhale, press. When you bent your elbows and you touched your shoulders, you broadened your collarbones, you widened your elbows. Keep the chest in back, nice and broad. For 3. For 2, navel to spine, arms steady. Good. Hips up. Now walk your feet a full step forward and bend your knees. Keep your feet wide and come onto your right fingertips. And then come up also onto the left fingertips. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Drop your head. So now you get a little more space through the armpits, through the back body, a little tuck of the chin, a little bend of the arms. Yeah, onto your fingertips as you can. So Stephanie, walk your feet closer to your hands, or your hands towards your feet. Good, good. That's it. Now find your fingertips. Really bend the knees, tail back, heels high if you need to. Making space. High plank. Good. Hands flat, feet back, right forearm, left forearm. I know. High. Right hand down, left hand down, left forearm down, right forearm down. Right hand, right forearm, left forearm. Right foot wide, left foot wide, navel to spine. Left foot center, right foot center. Good. Left foot wide, right foot wide, navel center. Right foot center, left foot center. Knees wide, feet together. Child's pose. So stabilizing the navel gives us strength in the arms and the legs. All these little bitty movements building up. Building up. Walk your hands forward. Lift your hips high and bring your elbows towards the floor. Bring your forearms towards the floor. Bring your heart, look forward, look forward, look forward. Eventually your heart and your chin are on the floor. Arms are long. 3. So broaden the shoulders. Imagine widening your upper arms away from each other too. Oh. Rising up. Walk your right hand back. Take your left hand behind the right and come onto your left shoulder and drop onto the left side of your head and let your hips move side to side. Just a little, just enough. And the right hand high. And the right hand overhead until your right fingers find the floor and stay 3. So in the beginning, we move the navel. Now we're turning the heart and the navel. Soften your left shoulder blade. Soften the left side of your spine. And right hand high and down to child. Fold back. Walk both hands to the left and sit your right hip back. So you're feeling now the right shoulder roll down, the right ribs roll down, the right hip roll back, and the right side body grows long. Walk to center. As you come up, left hand down, right hand threads behind the left, right shoulder down. And let your hips move. Let your head fall. And start to find your breath all the way into your spine. Each exhalation is removing tension. Left hand high when you're ready, and overhead until the fingertips find the floor. Softening the jaw and the face. Turn from the navel right to the heart. Turn the heart right to the head. Left hand back and down. Child. Fold. Walk yourself to the right side and drop your left shoulder, your left ribs, and your left hip back. As we sit at our computers, as we hold our phones, and as we drive our cars, all of these create the shoulder girdle to rise up towards the ears. And it shortens and creates congestion around the ribs and the neck. So walk to center. And now as you return to your down dog, you've fortified the arms. You've rinsed the spine. Let your head, your hips wash side to side. And notice from your navel to your heart, a space. And then from your heart towards your head, a space. Quiet. And step your right foot up towards your right thumb, adding a block outside your right little toe. Warrior two, just to move through what we already know. Feel the space you've made across the chest and the back. Awesome. Hands up high. Weight into the back foot. Wriggle. Rise a little more out of both legs, up the center, and then bending your right knee, open from the center in both directions. Super, hands up, rise. Float both feet down, and then bend the right knee, but reach back. Good. Left hand down the back, right hand up and back. Right elbow to right thigh, left hand over the top. Through warrior two, reverse, straighten your right leg, draw back a little more. Bend your right knee, arms wide, elbow to thigh, sweep over the top. Good, we'll go one more like that. Warrior two, straighten the front leg, reach back. And keep the right leg, right hand down to the block. Stand it on its tail if needed, stand it on its side, set it on its belly, and keep the left hand traveling overhead. And sweep it back towards the left hip, look down. Here's inhale. Hand overhead, reaching, looking up. Here's exhale. And start to find 3 breaths. Inhale, looking down, reaching back to the hip. And exhale, reaching overhead, firm into the feet. One more. So when you exhale, reaching overhead, you're anchoring into the navel. Stay. And bow into the left ribs and drop your left fingertips right off your left hand. And reach the left heel back and down. Firm the left leg. Left hand wide and down. Left hand to the floor. Now keep your left knee lifted. Take your block and set it on its length and its highest setting. And when you bend forward, you're going to rest your left thigh. Ready? Hands up. Fingertips to shoulders. Reach up. Fingertips to shoulders, elbows wide. Navel to spine. Inhale, look up. And then down. You're going to go one more. Reach up. Interlace your fingers behind the back of your head and wrap your elbows in. Lift your left thigh. 3. Elbows up, back of the neck long. 2. Trust the block. And hands up. And reach down. Down dog. Take your time. Get your right foot back. Set your block to the left side. You can use it in a moment. Find your dog. Feel what you've changed, what you've made. Hips side to side. Notice. And the left foot steps up. And the block goes outside the left little toes. Right heel down. Warrior two. Sweep into that back heel. So we're making space through the pelvis. Nice. There we go. Straighten the front leg. Reach up. Little wag of the tail, distribute your weight, and then bend your knee. Inhale up. A little taller and widen down. Open the collarbones and the chest. One more. And bend. Right hand down the back, reach up and back. Little wag of the tail all the way up. No congestion through the spine. And then through warrior two, left elbow to left thigh. As you reach over, plug into your right heel. That's it. And then warrior two. Keeping the left knee bent, reach back. Warrior two, elbow to thigh, sweep over, plug into your right heel, a little more. And reach back. Straightening the left leg, a little shimmy. Open it all, keep it long, left hand down to the block. Setting up your triangle, the right hand sweeps over the top. Good, good, good. And then sweep it back and look down. Here's inhale. Reaching overhead, navel to spine. Here's exhale. So when you were lying on the floor with a block between your knees and you were sweeping your arm, you were doing exactly this posture, just modified. Drop your fingertips towards the floor, bow into your right ribs. Press your left hand down. And find a little more space under the right shoulder blade, into the right heel. To pivot your hands down and take your block, stand it on its tail, and put your right thigh to your block. Toes stay on the floor. Yeah. There we go. Awesome, then you won't tip off. Hands up high, fingertips to shoulders. Now, use your right thigh into that block, hands up. And then down. This is inhale. And this is exhale. Into the navel. So inhale, bring it down. Heart back, elbows wide. And then exhale, reach up, firm into your right heel. Good, bring it down, one more. Now hands go up high, interlace your fingers, bring them to the back of your head, and sweep your elbows in. So the crown of the head goes up. The tips of your elbows go up, your right hip comes forward, it all fits together. Out of the jaw, out of the face, out of the right heel. And hands down. Good. Set your block back. Down dog. Walk your dog, sway your hips, make space until you're ready to be still. Mighty. There we go. Plug into the base of your big thumb. That's it. And roll your upper arms wide, your armpits away from. Yes. Great fix. Wag of the tail. Fold your blanket in half from front to back so that the fold is pointing towards the front of your mat, and step your heels onto that fold. Put a big bend in your knees. Keep your fingertips to the floor. Can you fit yourself inside? Doesn't matter how deep you go, but can you fit inside and hug your knees to your body? This is just setting up our shape. Yep. And then lift your hips. Keep your knees soft, wag your tail. Let the weight rock into the balls of your feet, and walk your hands to the right and your left hip back, and your right knee deepens. Bend the right knee. Send your left hip back. Centering. And walk to the left side. So the left knee is bent, and the right thigh presses back, and the right hip goes back, and the right ribs open. Good. Find center, hold opposite elbows. Lifting with your elbows, press the balls of your feet down, put a bigger bend in your knees, and lift the elbows to lift the heart. Lift the elbows to lift the heart. To look forward, to lift yourself with your eyes.
to drop your seat and then stand up tall. Press your heels down and let it rush through you. Just steady, just steady, just steady. Hi, 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 hi. Let it move through you. Interlace your fingers, turn the palms to the ceiling. Good. Turn your thumbs. Now try to get the pinkies back and the ribs back. Just like on the floor. Pinkies back, ribs back, toes long. You'll keep the upper body just this way. How far down can you go? Drop your hips towards your heels. Maybe you can just sit into all your resistance. Super. So ribs back, pinkies back. Ha! Standing. Ha! Hold opposite elbows. Wriggle, rise, open it all, bend your knees, take your tail back, heart leads, elbows last, fold. Ha. Fingers down, hands down, head down. So imagine if you lived today with all of that still cooking around inside of you, that big shift that needed to happen. We don't want to carry that inside us. Left step forward, right steps back so that you have a nice big wide fold. Good. You can set your blanket back and fingertips to the floor. Bend your right and then bend your left. Finding the inner thighs, the tailback, the spine long. And as you find the center, just walk your fingertips back. Widen your elbows as you look to the floor and then wrap your elbows in towards each other, and this will make your fold. And then lift a little, widen your elbows, wrap your elbows in, and look, is my wrist under my elbow? So walk your wrists back until they're under your elbows and rock your weight into the balls of your feet and your hips high and your elbows in and the spine long, shoulders away from your ears. Little wag of the tail. Good. Walk your fingertips forward, right under your shoulders, and again, a little side to side. And if you need to, check me out before we go. The same way that we were on hands and knees, and we thread the left hand behind the right, same thing, we're going to take the left hand and hold the outer right ankle. Exactly that. Now fall towards your left heel, and the right hand reaches overhead just as you did on hands and knees. And draw back away from the right heel. Turn your chin under your right shoulder, maybe working your right hand toward the left for 3. Both hips back, spine long, turn 2. Find the center. Good. Fingertips side to side so that nothing locks up, nothing's tight, nothing's holding. Side to side. And the same thing. Left hand center, right hand behind the left wrist, hold the ankle. Good. And then revolve. Just as you did on the floor, walking your left hand overhead, walking your right shoulder towards your right knee, lean back. Toes are long, yeah. And can you look up underneath your armpit? Yeah. Beauty, thighs back, heart high. And center. You can turn towards front. Put your shins down. And take your blanket and set it across the backs of your calves. All right. And kneel. I'm just going to make a little space in the knees. A little pressure on the calves and the legs. If it's too much, just put a block between your heels. Interlace your fingers. Through the jaw, through the head, little wriggle, adjust. Pinkies back, ribs back, elbows open. And just close your eyes and pinkies back, ribs back, elbows open. Good. And the hands come down. So if you need to make an adjustment, you can also fold it in half one more so it's sort of like a log and you have a little more height. You good? You're good. Awesome. So any adjustment you need in your knees. Left hand high and take the left hand down to the center of your back and the right hand holds the left elbow. We're going to do a little turn. In left, out right, and as you go, X, 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 X. Use your right hand to get a little taller, up and out of that left side, all the way up out of the left hip. Five, four, three, two, one. Good. Open your arms wide and bring your left arm under your right. Hold the wrist. Right hand makes a fist, elbows up, chin in, ribs back. On your exhale, we're going to fold the elbows toward your belly button. Without folding forward onto the thighs, we're just curling the elbows into the belly button, spreading the upper back. Let the hands fall towards your knees. Let the back of your neck widen. And then gently rising, sit your seat down to lift your elbows up, to lift your chin up. So it takes about 3 breaths to go in each direction. The chin begins, the elbows follow, the spine follows, the elbows into the navel, widening the upper back, opening the space from the heart to the head. Now go a little bit side to side. Elbows up. Chin up. And release. Notice, hands to thighs. Just feel the sensation, the back, the neck, the head, the face. Right hand down the back, left hand, right elbow, little turns. Exhaling to the right, inhaling to the left, close your eyes. And the left hand is helping bring your elbow up, up out of your shoulder, up out of your hip. Lengthening your abdomen, ribs back, elbow back. Loosen it all, lengthen it out. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hands high, wide, 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 right under left. Hold your left wrist. Good. Broadening the base of your skull, tuck your chin, drop in, elbows towards your navel, fall down, hands towards your knees. Big breath into the back body. Good. Rising up, elbows, heart, chin. Take your time, right through the point of the chin. Elbows up, elbows up, elbows up, and then chin in, elbows down. Broaden the back body and curl in. Tuck your chin as much as you can. Now side to side. Side to side. Good. To release, hands to thighs, notice, front, back. The space available across the collarbones, the shoulders, the neck. Keep all that quiet. Put a block in front of you. You're going to hold it with the thumbs and the first fingers. As you bend your knees, you tuck your toes, you release, the blanket will drop to the floor. So all the space you've just made, imagine the elbows rising and the ribs drawing back. Exactly the shape you just made.
Bend your knees, walk your feet a half step closer. Lift your hips, press your elbows, drop your head. Put your left foot towards the center line, left knee bent, right heel high. And press the hands down and play, rocking your weight forward and back. Opening the right hip, the shoulders and the chest, and the right foot down, swapping place, right foot to center line, left heel high. Chest is broad, a little forward, a little back. Ha, for 2. For 1. And knees down. Good. Release the block.
Hands to thighs.
Oh, notice. Chest is broad.
So we've made space and space and space and space around the sides of the spine. And this is energetically known as the sushumna. And the sushumna is like our Wi-Fi router. It's what collects information from our subtle field, our most subtle information, and brings it in and up into the mind. So that might be your work and you're content right there. If not, bring your blanket in front of you. Bring your hands behind your back. Find the clasp, elbows in and up, ribs back. So this could be your work right here. Elbows reaching, crown reaching, ribs back. Or build the same thing. Hands down, interlace your fingers, elbows in. As you lift your knees, you're going to put the back of your head into the clasp of your hands. Move your hands to your head. Elbows press down to lift your hips. Walk your feet in. Elbows press down. You'll lift one heel. You'll lift another. Find the egg where you're floating, where both feet are off the floor and the elbows are down. It's much more important to find this little egg than kick up. From the egg, press your elbows down to reach your feet. So all the stabilization we did at the start, the navel to the spine. Elbows down, navel to spine. Keep allowing the hips to open in the front. That lunge we had with the block under the thighs, keep letting the front body open. Find the balance you can sustain. When you need to, give it one more breath. And then the knees bend and you return to your egg. Return to your egg. And then bring the feet to the floor. Set it down. Child or dog, yogi's choice. Keep it quiet. Your blanket will slide back with you, putting it where your shins were. The fold is pointing back towards the back of your mat, and then sit in the front. Have a block within reach and lie back. Shoulders broad. Most modified, you just stand in your heels and lift your hips and place a block beneath the back of the sacrum. Let your knees float, let your feet float, let your heels float. A really perfect place to just pause, letting the legs drain, a sensation of releasing the calves and the shins, releasing the grip of your thighs, inviting this reversal, letting the hips drain, feeling the abdomen soften.
Feel the diaphragm soften. So you're so welcome to stay right here for the next minute. If you choose, lift your hips, catch your hips in your hands. Your shoulders will remain on the blanket. If you need to get rid of the block to find your momentum, just set it aside. And lifting your hips. And again, start modified. Knees are soft. Resting your pelvic girdle in your hands. There you go. Get a running start. Drop your heart back into your body. If you like, start to reach the feet high, walking your hands up the back. Bring your right knee towards your right shoulder. That's it. Left foot high. And just press your right foot up. Then bring your left knee down. And press back to center. Just 3 times, right knee down and up. So even here we can build stability. One more. That if we turn upside down and we are stable, then we can test and really amplify our stability. Walk your hips up, hands up the back, stay. A little levity in the legs, really draining, turning the toes in, the heels wide. The breath widening through the back of your body. Reach into the balls of your feet, spread your toes all the way. Bend your both knees down. Pause there or drop the toes overhead. Maybe the toes to the floor. Use your hands to catch yourself if you're resting on the block. Feet down, remove the block. Roll your way down so that we all meet with the feet to the floor and the palms open. The body quiet. The blanket aside for a moment and widen your heels. But you still have a block within reach. Arms wide, heels wide, knees bent, and just allow your knees to very slowly start to go side to side. A release through the low belly, the low back, all the way up into the armpits. And the right knee falls in to pause, and the left ankle comes over the right knee. The left hand holds your right wrist overhead. And as you deepen your breathing, you lift your ribs away from your right hip. And the right side abdomen is lengthened. And changing sides, wash back and forth at the center. And the left knee falls in and the right ankle comes over the left knee. As you deepen your breathing, you lift your right ribs away from your left hip. Your left ribs away from your left hip. Centering. Feet flat. Hands down beside you, palms face the floor. Inhale, right hand overhead. Lift your hips. Press your left hand down. And then right hand comes down. Look to the left. And open the right side now. Left hand overhead. Lift your hips. Looking straight. And then left hand comes down. Look right. Open the left side. Right? So again, right hand up. Hips up. Stand in your heels. And then hand down. Look left. Left hand up. Look up. And turn right. One more, both sides. So right hand, hips up, hips up, hips up, and then look to the left. And left hand up. And look to the right. Look center, bend your elbows, plant your elbows, lift your hips, interlace your fingers, tuck a shoulder, tuck another. So inner thighs are falling in. You're lifting both ribs away from your hips. So when we were side to side with an ankle on the knee, feel that on the right side, so right inner thigh down. Then feel that on the left side, left inner thigh down, ribs away from your hips, put it together. That this posture opens the interior, the cavity of your abdomen all the way up to your diaphragm. Stand in your feet. And then rolling down, release your hands wide. Pause and just notice the interior. Gives the inner organs more space, more circulation, more health. Gives the breath more space. And the mind a little more space. And the knees to the chest. As you roll up, sit on the edge of your blanket so that it's folded into this double that we were using it for shoulder stand this way. Fold it again so we have a long thick rectangle and we can sit there and have your strap within reach. Walk your heels forward and walk your seat back so that your heels are under the knees. And you can just fold for a beat, a little bit side to side, a little bit side to side. Walking your hands to the right side, bringing your heart towards your right knee, sit your left hip back, just as we do in child. Letting your breath make space along the left side of your spine. Walk yourself up, plant your right hand to the right side and just take your left hand up over and bend your right elbow down. And then straighten your right arm and turn a little more left. Bend your right elbow down. As you straighten out, bring your left elbow down. Good. Reach out. As you bring your elbow down, turn a little more left. And then reach. Right elbow down, left hip down. That's where it wants to come up. And as you come upright, pause. Change the cross of your legs and fold forward. The inhale, a little lift, the exhale, a little fold, adjusting a little wave of breath, a little side to side. To step your hands to the left. Just like your child. So the right elbow wraps down, the right shoulder wraps down and the right hip wraps back. We find the familiarities between the postures, how one has echoes of another. It just takes the posture and the breath a little further into the body. And as you rise up, the left hand stays down and the right hand reaches up over. Bending your left elbow, see where you can go. And it makes you want to fall left and unplug. So instead, as you come up, plug your right hip in, bring your elbow down, and everything's anchoring down here. Keep that as you reach over. Yeah, that's the spot. Bend your elbow, turn right, finger to shoulder, just as we warmed up. Reach up. Elbow to shoulder, hip to the floor. Turning your chin side to side as you go. You'll go one more time, your pace, and then we'll pause with the right hand overhead and the left elbow to the floor. So the right hip is heavy. The right side ribs are opening. Rise up to the center. Change the cross of your legs again. Hold your strap behind you, and it's just wider than your hips. Knuckles down, heart high. I'm on the front edge of my blanket. My heels are a little bit more forward. That's it. So that when you fold forward, you can lift your arms. Might need to widen your strap. And then you just inhale, sit back up. On the exhale, tuck your chin. Keeping your spine so long. Like a final floss. As you can. Yep. Now as you come upright, take the strap and everything and turn to the left. So softening across the shoulders, especially the front of the left shoulder. You've got to bind so you don't need to work. The work is at the navel. And notice if you've put the work into your chest. And instead turn at the navel and just hold the strap. Just hold the strap. Notice your inner thighs might be working and you'll know because they're trembling. Soften your legs and turn from your navel. We're coming back into the navel as we began. And then center and relax your arms down. Roll your shoulders. Roll your shoulders. And then straighten your arms. And turn to the right. So immediately I used my upper back to turn. It's just habit. And so once I've built that, see if I can access this posture from the navel and just straighten the arms and take the work out of your upper back and turn from your navel, from your seat. And soften and lengthen the arms and sit tall. And I get a tremble in my body. I get a recalibration because the shoulders are allowed to open without working. The inner thighs are soft. I'm turning from the center, from the core, from behind and below my belly button. And then you relax and set the strap aside and sit up tall and notice. So the shoulders are soft and heavy, the spine is tall, and there's this quiet brilliance in the brain. A great place to stay totally still. If you're done, be done. You may lie back into Shavasana or shake out your legs and rebuild your seat with your heels a little bit closer so you've got some upright action in your spine. So if you have only an hour, there's your asana for head standing. Hands wide.
And this is a kriya to access intuition, the ability to hear ourselves, to remove outer influence. Most modified, let's set up the mudra first. So fingers together, fold your fingers down to the base of your knuckles. Rather than a fist, the palm is open and the thumbs are pulled apart, so the hands are very strong. You can keep your hands down and you're just rolling through the thumbs. And feel how you can roll your shoulder blades back, your ribs back, everything we've just built in our asana. And the shoulders are low. We're not working, just like we used the strap and we used the navel. Inhale as you roll back, exhale as you roll forward, it grows stronger. Notice where you start to generate tension and just keep softening. Softening the arms, softening the wrists, softening the face. There's no effort, no strain. So this is modified, full posture, arms out. Sitting tall, down into the seat, up into the spine, ribs back, chest broad. And the work is not in your arms, it's not in your chest, it's in the navel. Where are you generating tension? If you need to, you shake out your hands, you come back. If you need to, bend your elbows. But it's your choice. It's an option to grab your upper back. It's an option to grab your neck. And instead, a little tuck of the chin. Remember the eagle arms and widen the upper back, the base of your neck. Your arms might start to get pretty bright, pretty noisy. Firm your hands. You got 20 seconds. From the navel. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hands up high. Interlace your fingers, press up. Hold the breath in. Reach a little wriggle. Heart up. Draw your attention up, 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 up to the midbrain. Chin up, breath out, arms wide, notice. There's a sweetness in the quiet. Keep adjusting any aspect of your body that has tension, floating neutral through the spine. Arms are at ease. Your attention starts to rest and the light starts to gather in the midbrain. Just below the crown of the head, straight back from the center of the forehead where the two hemispheres meet. Where you can hear your own thoughts. And then you can hear what's under and behind and witnessing the thoughts. Quiet. Same mudra. Fold your fingers in, pull your thumbs away, hands are open, arms are out, and then thumbs to the shoulders, the way we warmed up. So this is exhale, and thumbs to the shoulders is inhale. To exhale, to inhale, to out, to in, to out, to in. Feel how strong your upper back is, how stable you are. How can you open your elbows? Keep your palms facing forwards. Close your eyes. Steady breath. And you are clearing the windshield. All the perspectives that you have, all the opinions are based on the past. So we shake off the past to see what's happening right now. soft and wide through the shoulders, soft and wide through the elbows. The action and the stability starts in the navel. The breath is steady from the navel. 45 seconds, just like this. How can you loosen your elbows? How can you loosen the experience? How can you let go of any tension, any holding, and allow the joints to move with an ease and a freedom and a clarity? And then let it become quite powerful and strong for 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hands high, interlace your fingers, reach up. Inhale, 3 more sips. Heart up, chin in, reach, a little wriggle. Everything rising up, up, up into the midbrain, up through the spine, up through the arms. Chin up, breath out, arms down, eyes closed. Notice and be in the space you've made. Find out what it looks like, how it feels. Effortless breath. Left palm is open, resting the back of your hand on your knee. You close your left thumb and first fingertip to touch. Open the other fingers and fit them together so that there's an order, so that the left shoulder, elbow, and fingertips are aligned. Turn your right palm down, put your fingers together, put your thumb to your hand. Put your arm at about 60 degrees to the ground. This is modified. Exactly the same, but arm out straight. That's the full gesture. The breath is smooth and full. The body is without tension, effortless. Anywhere you begin to hold any congestion of your effort, release it on your exhale. Trust the steadiness at your navel. Inhale, the chest expands. Exhale, navel to spine. Conquering fear. Conquering confusion, conquering fragmentation. Softening your elbow if needed. Bringing your elbow down, your palm still at 60 degrees. Just over a minute to go, just like this, so steady. Bringing active steadiness to your mind. Posture and its asymmetry will pull at your mind. And with your breathing, stay simple, circular, centered. Keep smoothing out your experience. Keep effortlessness as your goal. That when the circumstance becomes challenging or loud, that you respond with grace. You drop into your navel on the exhale. You deepen the spaciousness, the expanse of your inhale. And that the outer circumstance, that right shoulder getting louder, is simply generating intensity, and the intensity through your breathing is transformed into light. Breathe it in. And come to know that you are more powerful than you realize. And the power has a stability, and the power has a source, and you are stable and safe. Effortlessness. Freedom. 20 seconds. Everything soft on the right side body. Everything available and fortified in the left side body. And turn your right thumb up, bend your elbow, turn both palms open, and rest and notice. You are more substantial than you know, and you can handle more light than you realize. What if the challenge of our outer circumstance was just showing us what we're capable of? And as you're ready, lying all the way back, any adjustment that you need, set yourself up. I'll unfold my blanket. You've been very busy in your spine, so I would suggest giving it a little padding. To turn your palms open to rest.
deepening your breathing. Widen your chest. And as you deepen your exhalation, soften through the whole body. Letting your hands reach overhead. Take your time. Through the toes and the heels, through the belly and the arms. And you just walk your feet in and roll to your right, resting your head on your right upper arm. And breathing into your upper back, feeling yourself re-inflate after resting on your back. And roll all the way up to an easy seat. Side to side. So any tension tomorrow along the sides of your spine, this will be where you go. Take your right hand outside of your left knee. I'm sitting tall, just turn softly, remembering to turn from the navel. Turning the chin all the way to the left shoulder, and then all the way to the right shoulder, so that any tension we accumulate during the day, we can release out of the neck and the jaw and the face and our words and our schedule and our thinking. And side to side. So that we come back into movement as carefully as we created our stillness. Left hand outside the right knee. Turn at the navel. And without force, just encourage the ribs to turn right. And turn your chin to the shoulder at the back and the shoulder at the front. And with your eyes closed, turning to the front, to the center, sitting tall, seat is deep, heart is high, ribs back. We started in the navel, we built stability. And from our stability we could open. And from our opening we could build strength and reach. We could iron out the fragmentation of the week and come back into a certainty in ourselves. We could rise up and rinse through the spine. We could open through the arms and the shoulders. We could fortify the shoulders and the arms. We could integrate the strength of our shoulders and our navel. All in the service of clearing the mind and remembering our innate strength and light. Sweep wide. Gather it in. Take it with you. Thumbs to the forehead, center. Namaste. Grateful to all those in our lives that made this time together possible. A strong, clear mind to you. May it serve you well and may you see your light. Until next Saturday. We're coming back tomorrow for Kundalini at 8 or during the week, Tuesday, Thursday at noon. Any questions, send them my way. Keep this space clear so that you can hear what you have to say to you. You can access your intuition. Align the strength of your navel, the clarity of your mind, and this is how, like, gut instinct. This is my strength. This is my vision. I can feel how they are aligned and how they serve me. Until next time, loves. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your time. Thanks, Sue. Mm-hmm. Yeah.